What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Blunderbuss79, and today we got the patch note details for the Goblin Queen update. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
That's all there is to that.
Hold on. It's coming. You got your belt fastened?
We got my guy Havoc right here. He's coming into the game as a superhero blast mutant male. He's going to be acquired similarly to Wolverine and Deadpool and all of those guys. He is the Epic Quest character. So as soon as you log into the Epic Quest, you'll be able to unlock this guy. He comes with 50% energy attack to all allies on his leadership. On his tier 2 passive, he gets increased skill damage, bonus damage by 40 and 20% respectively, with a decreased basic damage received by 35%. He also gets super armor, increase all basic defenses, 10% chance to absorb energy damage upon absorption. All basic attack increased by 5%. So he's got an energy attack absorb conversion mechanic. So that could actually make him pretty decent for PvP. Maybe Alliance Conquest or something like that. We've also got some energy damage, some paralysis, stun, snare, incapacitation. He's got a 30% heal. He's got 1.1 damage accumulation, which is pretty good in this day and age. The ignore targeting effect for his 4th skill is actually on a 7.5 second cooldown. So I don't know how that's going to translate to PvP. He's got a 25% chance to penetrate everything. That's pretty low. That's lower than a CTP of destruction. So maybe he might be able to take advantage of that thing. I don't know. I also have snare, incapacitation, and 100% chance to damage immunity with a 50-40 frenzy buff with some all speed on there. Moving right along, we got my guy Exodus. He's coming in as a universal superhero mutant male at tier 2. You're going to be able to acquire this guy through the 30 X-Gene IO sub thing or the X-Gene selector. You'll also be able to get him from the premium hero chest, the hero chest. Goblin Queen Brother in Crisis, available through Shifter Allies. You'll also be able to get him from the X-Mansion Secret Base. Cable Plasma Rifle in the Goblin Queen Epic Quest Collection Completion. For his leadership, it's something similar to Nebula's old leadership, where you can increase the amount of attack, or something similar to Drax, where you can increase the amount or the percentage based on the number of combat types. For him, it's the number of mutant allies.
Hey, here's the trivia question. Why would I want to do that?
3 mutant allies, he's going to get 50% all attack increase. We've seen better, to be honest. If they really wanted to make this a thing, they should have made it like 60 or 70% at least, or maybe 50% with a 30% superhero, supervillain sort of thing. You also got the super armor increase all basic defense by 40%, increase skill damage and bonus damage by 40 and 35%, and decrease basic damage received by 25%. He also has, that applies to mutant allies.
It's not a great sadness, Stone. To be created, never to be used.
Debuff removal, 12 seconds on a 20-second cooldown. He gets some energy damage, silence, incapacitation, paralysis, a 10-hit barrier, 30% heal on a 14-second cooldown with a frenzy buff on his 3rd skill. He also gets 3 seconds of silence and paralysis on his 4th skill with a 100% damage proc. And he gets some burn, stun, paralysis, all defense down, and 100% chance immune to all damage for 6 seconds with a 60-30 frenzy buff on a 16-second cooldown. That cooldown on that 4th skill does look to be a little bit on the long side. The 5th skill too, to be honest with you. So he may not be that proc friendly. Then what can you expect with them sticking him at tier 2? Hopefully he gets a tier 3 for the mid-month. That's about the best we can hope for at this point. And moving on to Hope Summers, we got a combat superhero mutant female. So the combat superhero meta could be getting another shake-up. So Nebula time in the sun could be very, very short-lived. You can acquire her through the Epic Quest Goblin Queen. She's a 6,000 or the 7,007 100 crystal pack character. I do believe she comes in at 6 stars. And then she gets increase all basic attack to mutant allies by 30% and increase all basic attack to Cable
Plasma grenade.
by 70%. But the problem is Cable is blast and she's combat. So where are you ever going to use them together? She's female, he's male. Where are you ever going to use them together? Like, they don't create the avenue for these things to be relevant when they put them in the game. I mean, outside of using her as a leadership for Cable and GBR, they're not going to be able to really be used in any other in-game content together. She gets increased guaranteed critical rate by 25%, increased skill damage, bonus damage by 35 and 35% respectively. She also gets a 35% increase of physical attack, ignore target dodge rate by 20%. She gets 3 seconds stun, 3 seconds of silence, 2 seconds of mind control, increased basic damage received by 10% for 2 seconds. So that may be a little bit interesting. I don't think mind control has ever come with that particular dynamic attached to it, so we're gonna have to wait and see. It doesn't say that it ignores immunity though. We also get some snare, some paralysis, some burn, some shock, and some silence on the 2 and the 3, along with some all defense down, 100% damage immunity increase, all attack by 65%. Looks like she's complete physical damage character as well. She also gets 20% HP recovery on the 4 on a 13-second cooldown. She does look to be proc friendly. Everything is under 14 seconds as far as her skill cooldowns are concerned, so that's actually pretty good. She also gets 3 seconds of stun and 4 seconds of paralysis that ignores immunity, 3 seconds of invincibility and 100% damage proc on the 4 to go along with that heal. She also gets some burn, bleed, some increase all basic attack by 65% with a crit rate of 40%. We're gonna have to wait and see, but she could be taking over the combat hero meta for ABX days and ABL days. Moving right along, we got my girl Madeline Pryor coming to the game at tier 3. She's got Mind and Mind Resist with the Destruction tag. She's coming in as a blast supervillain, mutant female. She gets all allies debuff removal for 12 seconds on a 20-second cooldown. She also gets increased all resistances by 50%, increased skill damage, bonus damage by 45%, and decrease basic damage received by 40%. She also gets a 50% chance to penetrate everything. Increase additional pierce by 5%, similar to Null. Super armor, increase all basic defenses by 30%. She also gets some mind damage on the 1. And then watch this, energy damage on the 2. The counter attack on 10 seconds, so that's a 5-second cooldown. She'll be able to cast this thing every 5 seconds. That's really short. She also has a 25% heal on this thing, 100% chance for damage immunity for 4 seconds, and decreased recovery rate by 50% on this thing. And it also has incapacitation, so it's going to lower attack as well. It also has paralysis on there. Not quite the bonds of destiny there, but we're gonna have to wait and see. She gets some bleed, some decrease all basic recovery rate, so she's gonna stop a lot of healing. She also gets a decrease all basic defenses by 10% that ignores immunity. She gets a 10-hit barrier. She gets 1% damage accumulation, which barrier is really kind of outdated and has long been outdated in this meta. She gets another heal of 20% on the 4th skill on a 15-second cooldown for 3 seconds of fracture. She also gets the new skill, panic, invincibility, and increase all basic attack and defense by 50% with 35% crit rate frenzy buff. She also gets another 50% increase to attack, some bleed, and decrease recovery rate again. So she could be a little something. It depends on just how strong she is when they bring her to the game. Looks to be a PvP character, so we'll see how that all shakes out. We also have the Rachel Summers uniform, and the uniform will be on sale 40% off during the January celebration event. and all of the uniforms associated with this will be on sale. I do believe that they said that all of the mutant uniforms would be on sale for this update, excluding, of course, the uniforms for the holidays. So no holiday Storm, no holiday Iceman or Magneto. He's changing from a universal, or from a blast type to a universal type. Little interesting there. On her uniform effect, she's going to get super armor, increase all basic defenses by 30%, decrease basic damage received by 30%. Also, to Phoenix Force allies, she's going to get increased mind resist by 40%. And when debuffed, she's going to get 12 seconds of debuff removal. She also gets the increased guaranteed dodge rate by 40%, 35% chance to penetrate super armor, barrier, shield, all damage, immunity, and invincibility effect, 45% skill damage, and 30% bonus damage. She gets some stun. She also gets some fire damage on all of her skills, whereas with Madeline Pryor, she only has mind damage on a few of her skills, on the 1 and on the 3, and the rest of them are energy damage. So kind of want to keep your eye on that. She is not gonna be a character that you can slap a judgment on and be able to take full advantage of that. And it looks like she's gonna be a PvP character anyway, so may not really even be a thing. Moving back down here to Rachel, she gets the 8-hit barrier for 4 seconds, some paralysis and some burn. She also got some stun, fear, and snare, some all defense down, immune to all debuff. So she gets her own set of debuff removal cleanse on her 3rd skill on a 16-second cooldown, but she doesn't have any iframe ignore in her kit either.
Found anything yet? Not a thing, sir. What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
So that may be something interesting to watch out for it, or even in a PvE setting, that does help to be able to interrupt the boss and that sort of thing. We also get some decreased fire resist by 50%, some burn, some mind control, incapacitation, paralysis, 5 seconds of invincibility, 30% heal, some more stun and burn, frenzy buff with all attack 50%, all defense, and also a 30% crit rate buff with 5 seconds of all damage immunity. She does have an 18-second cooldown on her 5th skill that does have a V-pad on it. Hopefully, if the animation is long enough, maybe it'll be really, really good. Moving right along, we got Cyclops tier 4 with no uniform, and when striker skill is used, this tier 4 is going to increase additional pierce by 5% for 10 seconds, recovery rate by 10% for 10 seconds, so this thing is probably going to tick every second, and then he's going to get an increase all attack by 25% for 10 seconds. This isn't going to be enough, so yeah, hopefully he gets a uniform with the mid-month that'll make him better. They didn't give him anything as far as his current uniform is concerned, as far as a rework. So hopefully at least that would be coming in the mid-month. I would rather rework his old uniform than give him a new uniform that we have to pay additional crystals for. So that's kind of where I am with it. We also have Havoc and Madeline Pryor tier 3. For Havoc, he gets the burn and ignore target dodge rate by 80%, chance to penetrate everything for 8 seconds, 8 seconds of invincibility, and increase basic damage on 1 attack by 80% for 8 seconds. And with Madeline Pryor, she gets Queen's Judgment, bleed, some all defense down, 2 seconds of snare, 3 seconds of paralysis. It also gets some ignore target dodge rate by 80%, 8 seconds of invincibility, and a 50 frenzy buff for 8 seconds. Let's say as far as the animations are concerned, animations look pretty solid. You know, the design team, the animation team, you can finally see her sitting in her throne, so that actually looks dope. But you know, everywhere else the ball kind of got dropped as far as this update is concerned. We also got the Rachel Summers, Hope Summers, Kid Omega Potential Awakening and Transcendence. Same old basic stuff here as far as Transcendence is concerned. We got some Burn Fracture and Mind Blast. We haven't seen that in a while. And we also got some crit rate, crit damage, ignore target dodge rate, invincibility, remove all debuffs, incapacitation, and a frenzy buff. I'm sorry, it doesn't have incapacitation right there. It does have the invincibility and frenzy buff. And then same thing here, hope, and something really similar here with Kid Omega. And the animations actually look pretty dope. It looks different than any other awakened skill that they've been coming out with, so I can appreciate the animation team on that regard. They actually did a good job there. And then we got the new Epic Quest Goblin Queen. We introduce you to Goblin Queen, the new Epic Quest theme added through the January update. We got Havoc here, and his unlock requirement, Havoc is a native tier 2, so please keep that in mind. And then you got native tier 2 hero Madeline Pryor can be acquired. So getting all of these guys to tier 2, all 7 of them, Havoc, Exodus, Rachel Summers, Kid Omega, Cyclops, Cable, and Hope Summers unlocks Madeline Pryor. So there is that right there as well, and that's 6-star level 60. And then you also got the special reward and exclusive stage benefit will be available through Epic Quest Deluxe Pack or Special Deluxe Pack. And then you got the Deluxe Pack benefits will be added upon purchase, and then the Special Deluxe Pack benefits, this is the one that you actually spend money for. It gives you an additional 1,000 crystals upon purchase. So keep that in mind whenever you're figuring out how you want to unlock this thing, if you want to. So nothing new as far as this is concerned. We also got special items can be acquired through Epic Quest Collection. X-Mansion secret base collection materials can be acquired, and fixed probability when clearing each stage. I'm not sure what they mean by fixed probability, but we got 25 Exodus bios in here. So the Exodus bios are good.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
All of the other rewards are trash. This should be tier 3 materials. Down here, an enchanted mythic Uru chest. That should really be like an Odin's Blessing, especially since y'all are adding 5 new Odin's Blessings to the game. And this thing should be a mega tier 2 ticket, or a mega uniform upgrade ticket, or a 5 or 6-star uniform upgrade ticket. Something that people can actually make use out of long term. You also have the new item Odin's Blessing and enchanted Uru amplifier. So let's get into this. We got the 5 new Odin's Blessings coming to the game. Following items can be acquired through Uru combination at the store, dimension missions, or the enchanted Uru chest. So they didn't make this thing completely paywall, so that's a good thing. So yeah, there's that. This is going to be really good for all of your elemental based characters. Moving right along to this enchanted Uru amplifier. This thing is probably going to be paywall, and basically what this does is when you slap it on a character, that particular gear for that character, it'll automatically amplify all 5 slots. This thing is probably going to be paywall. Enchanted Uru amplifier has been newly added. When using enchanted Uru amplifier, 5 enchanted Uru slots of the selected gear will be amplified. They have yet to say how this thing is going to be acquired in here. It's pretty much a wait and see. We also have the new artifacts for Havoc, Exodus, Hope, Rachel, and Madeline. And I believe Kid Omega gets one as well. For Havoc, he's got the 20% superhero supervillain damage. For Exodus, he gets an increase of max HP by 25%. Not going to be able to make much use of that at tier 2, buddy. And then for Hope, she gets the increase basic damage from dealt to superhero and decreased damage received from, or supervillain, and decreased damage received from supervillain. For Madeline Pryor, she gets the undead passive with guard break immunity. And then for Rachel, she gets a revive with 50% of HP. So those two are pretty good. And then with Kid Omega, he gets the same thing that Hope got with the supervillain damage increase, supervillain damage decrease by 15%. We also got a new future pass coming, and then possibly the best part of the update, they're increasing the quantity of X-Men materials from 6,000 to 9,000. So that's actually good. The other thing too is the 4 contribution reward heroes will start appearing in the shop more consistently. I'm not sure what they mean by appearing in the shop more consistently. Maybe it'll be easier to unlock these characters, but you got Rachel, Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, Professor X, and Abomination. So hopefully they'll make these guys a little easier to unlock, because for the last few years they have been almost impossible. And that's something that they should have addressed a long time ago.
Hate when he does that.
We also got timeline battle game mode improvements. Auto repeat ending pop-up screen has been improved. Guys,
that's when you get busy playing like you working.
this is not a damn improvement. This is not a game mode improvement. This is not a buff to the rewards. This is nothing. This is nothing. An improvement means more than just buffing the damn rewards. It also means balancing the game mode. So yeah, the auto repeat ending pop-up screen has been improved to display the win, defeat information and acquired rewards. The rewards in here aren't that good, so nobody cares. This would mean something if the rewards were being improved, if the game mode was being improved, then this would mean something. But as of now, as currently packaged, this don't mean shit.
I bet you it ain't shit in there.
So yeah. We also have a new setting to enable or disable auto repeat when timeline battle rewards. Guys, auto repeat stop button in the settings is not a game mode improvement. Like, stop it with the quality of life stuff that we should have had years ago and calling it a game mode improvement. Seriously. The purchase method of battle pass levels of future pass and otherworld battle has been improved. So now instead of buying this thing once, you can go ahead and max it out upon purchase if you so desire. So they're gonna make it easier for you to burn your crystals. Great. The uniform store filtering feature has been improved to make it easier to find the uniform you desire. A new filter has been added to search uniform by elements, abilities, and also search by gender, owned, unowned. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a nice quality of life change for hunting down things that you're specifically looking for, but it's not really this isn't content. This is not new content. This is quality of life stuff, and it's things that people have been, I don't even think anybody asked for this. So yeah, let me not even go there.
Hooey. Huh. As in hogwash, malarkey, jive, an intentional fabrication.
There you go.
We also got the hero growth item rank up tickets and type enhancement tickets have been changed to where you can sell these things. Now for these tickets here, for the type enhancement tickets, that's a great thing because we get way too many of these damn things. And to be honest, instead of making it where you can sell them, they should have made it to where you can convert these things into better versions of themselves. Maybe take a 2-star to a 2-star mega, maybe take a 5-star to a 5-star mega, you know, then that would be useful. And add the ability to sell these things. Then you're talking about something, but it's really just a inventory management thing, something that they should have put in the game a long time ago, seeing as how we've gotten so many more materials added to the game, from artifacts to these tickets to, you know, now this amplification thing that's gonna take up another slot. You know, this is something that should have been added to the game. The coins for the uniform collection thing. We also got the upgrade notification pop-up screen has been improved. So yeah, team up collection stuff. We got some purchase an item in the battlefield shop. Otherworld battle animation has been improved. This is what they've been spending their time on, guys. Skill name and glossary for the loss effect has been added. So that's something that actually needed to get added. I'm not necessarily mad at that. When using Tier 4 Striker, the targeting of the enemy changing when the Striker approves Okay, so they improved the targeting for when you use the tier 4 skill, so that's actually pretty good. We also got the modeling of Ultron and Nick Fury's tier 3 advancement animation has been changed. They're worried about a tier 3 animation advancement, guys. Instead of us getting game mode fixes and game mode balancing, they're worried about animations in something that we're going to look at once or maybe twice and be done with. We got items acquired beyond the maximum limit as rewards have been improved to send in your inbox. So Phoenix feathers are gonna start going to your inbox now, so you're not losing that stuff. That's actually pretty good. The character overview information has been improved when changing the hero info screen to the character overview mode. It has been improved to display the uniform effects. Like, all of this stuff is just quality of life stuff. It's not things that are going to keep people coming back. It's not things that are going to sell the epic quest for you. I mean, look at this. Under number 3, the details of the Ash ability in the 5th active skill of Iron Man's Marvel Studios Avengers Endgame and Team Suit have been improved when reaching level 10 specifically.
When a motherfucker break player, they ain't playing with you, boy. When a motherfucker on bending knees, hands, talking to the Lord, and stop to slap the fuck out you.
Like, come on, guys. Like, stop with the bullshit. You know, there's Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania outfit and the Across the Spider-Verse stuff, and not even the characters that they should be focusing on. You know, if they'd have buffed Spider-Man 2099 with this thing, then, you know, people would probably be pretty ecstatic with that. But to go back and do something with the Ash ability, that's the snap for the Marvel's in-game uniform for Tony. To go back and screw with that all these years later on a uniform that's 3-4 years old, yeah, it's completely out of touch. All of these game era fixes and so-called game improvements and changes are all bullshit, with the exception of them increasing the cap for mutant materials, and then them making Rachel Summers, Negasonic, Professor X, and Abomination easier to acquire. And none of these characters outside of maybe Rachel Summers are gonna be meta. Yes, Professor X can go to tier 4, but he's not in the meta. So yeah. Y'all like, comment, share, sub. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment below. The animation for the icons actually do look pretty dope, but it's not gonna be enough to save this update. We'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.